Hello guys. Sorry. Welcome back to episode 15. So now we have this, including this episode, we have 6 more to record. But yeah, I've decided to plan for myself to record one more episode tomorrow so that I can start scheduling uploads. Because I don't think I'm not going to be able to record a video while I'm on the plane, right? So I'll schedule it to upload on that time. Anyway, I do have a topic to talk about today, and meanwhile I'm gonna try to furnish the upper floor, the second floor, see what I can do here. So anyway, the topic that I've decided to talk about today is my family. Obviously I'm not gonna reveal literally everything because that would just get me completely doxxed and stuff, but I do want to emphasize that my family is amazing, so I think it's good to dedicate an episode to them as well. Not like they're ever gonna see this video, but for fun. Meanwhile, I'm gonna try to decorate the house a bit more, add some labels and to things. Yeah, this would be nice. So this will be mob drops. Anyway, to start off talking about my family is basically my normal family, of course, not my extended family, is very small. So they're only I'm an only child, and so it's really interesting, right? Because most of my friends have siblings, and I only know 3 or 4 other people who are an only child, just like I am. So yeah, and I don't know if most people would definitely count their dogs as family, including myself. But for the purpose of this video, since I already dedicated a whole video to Smiley, right? So I'm gonna not talk about Smiley as much as possible. I'm not gonna avoid talking about him, but I'll focus on him a bit less than usual, because there's already a whole episode about him, right? Let's just know that I do count him as my family, definitely. But I'm still only child because I'm the only human child. It's dark enough for mobs to spawn. Hopefully not. I don't think so. Damn, my pickaxe really needs to be modified. What is this trash enchantment? Oh my god. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go in the nether for some mining actually. Anyways, to talk more about my family, I guess I'll start by introducing my mother and father. So I really love my mom and dad. They're amazing parents. And I think I've explained why I think so in so many different cases, but to sum it up, I think everything they've done for me so far can be summarized by they always trust that I will learn by myself. So thing is, I didn't get, now this may convey the wrong message, they're not abusive in any way, of course, they're amazing parents. I know how hard that is to believe in this current era where everyone's complaining about their parents, right? But I don't think I have to. That's good, I'll take it. I'll wait for that aqua affinity. Silk touch. So I'll start talking about my dad first. Okay, first of all, my mom and dad are they're both Korean, just like me. They come from different provinces of Korea, but I was born in Seoul, right? So I have a Seoul kind of dialect, and my parents are both not from Seoul. That's just a fun fact though, not really related. I'm gonna go to the nether and mine some stuff. I think my dad has like a lot of sisters, so he grew up he grew up where he was like the youngest one out of all 3 older sisters. But it also ended up making him like really strong mentally. So I really look up to him a lot because I think he has really high patience. Okay, what? So where most parents would like go in, not most, but where some parents would give up and scream at their children for not getting right the first time, my dad would patiently wait and let me figure things out on my own. I think there was only like one time where my dad has ever like actually like yelled at me, because that was time when I was being really stupid, right? But otherwise he was really nice and caring. He still is, by the way. I don't know why I said was. And yeah, I wish all parents were like him in some way. Really amazing person to look up to. Now, he also does a lot of sports, because I think one of the things he wanted to do when he was young was get really strong and fit. So he did like, he went to the gym when he was young, like he built his muscles and stuff. Now he's really strong, and now he plays a lot of tennis. Like when he was young, back in school, he used to play a lot of tennis, even in college, and now he plays recreationally with my mom, like not competitively, but for fun. Apart from that, my dad's also really into like learning about new things, like learning how to be more productive. Sometimes when I go in his room, I see him browsing YouTube, looking at like random videos on YouTube, seeing how to be more productive. Speaking of being productive, he's really good at work. Like, obviously I'm not gonna reveal what he does, but but he has a very secure job, and I can see that he always works really hard to keep our family like stable. So I'm really grateful to him for that, and especially when I actually started to, you know, turn my life around and realize how grateful I am to have all of these aspects. You know, for given unconditionally, right? Great thing about parents' love is that it's given unconditionally. So once I started realizing how like beautiful that unconditional love that I got from my parents was, I started to really appreciate my dad more and more for putting up with annoying customers, for dealing with, you know, his boss. Of course, there are some great things about his work that he keeps talking about. Like he often goes out to drink like after work hours with his like colleagues and friends. That's a very Korean, like East Asian culture thing, right? South Korean people love soju. But yeah, regardless, he has worked really hard and built great relationships. He has great connections. So I always value my dad a lot. Now the thing is, my dad actually learned English. Like he majored in English in university, like business English. So he's pretty proficient in it. Although there are times he asks me to correct his grammar in emails and stuff, but usually like they're like really minor things. He's really good at understanding business English from context. So the funny thing is, I think my dad is more significantly better at English than my mom is. So whenever there are like a few times, oh my god, that could have been really bad. Okay, deep breaths. So there were a few times when my dad would actually end up inviting my friends, like taking my friends for a ride in his car. Like for example, to go to my senior prom, my dad happily invited me and my friends to take a ride in his car to get to the place, like the venue, right? So I told him, like after noticing this, I like reminded him in advance that I reminded my friends in advance that they should like watch out what they say, if they shouldn't like swear or anything, because my dad's really good at English. Yeah, but the great thing is my friends are great, so they didn't do any of that. It's pretty funny though, like my dad has an amazing sense of humor, and he always tries to cheers me up whenever I'm feeling down. Like I don't know how, but Like there was this one moment in the past 3 days where I was just feeling really down. Oh crap. Fire about the Enderman. So he has a great sense of humor, and always, like, when I was feeling really down, like 2 or 3 days ago, like, he noticed, and I didn't mean to notice, like, I didn't want him to notice, because that would just give him an extra burden, right? But, like, he's my parent, he's my dad, he noticed. Unfortunately, I just told him everything was, like, I just didn't want to burden him, so I said everything was fine. It is now, like, usually whenever I feel down, I get over it within a day. I just take the time to reflect and stuff, and I usually get good over time. But the main point here is that my dad noticed, and that's something I really admire. Like, I don't know how he does that. There's also times when, like, he would take out me and my mom to a nice meal for family dinner. Whenever that happens, that's really exciting, right? And it's also a really big motivation for me to, one day earn enough, like, have a income that's big enough to be able to support my own family, and then I'll be able to take them out to nice dinners as well with my wife and stuff. That would be amazing, right? So I told him this, and he was like really proud. He said I'm going to make a lot more money than he does. Now, of course, I'll try my best in life to succeed. I'm always trying to take extra steps to be consistent in everything. Like, everything I do, even these small things like uploading daily Minecraft videos, these are all consistent things, right? They're like small habits I want to build. And even though I go to college, I'm probably not going to be able to record these Minecraft videos because my PC is not going to be there. I'll have like the discipline to be able to do other things consistently in a more productive way. So, for example, studying math every day for the past 2 years in DP, that was something I did consistently. And it helped, and the results did come through, so they don't say for nothing. And when this brings me to the other point, my dad is incredibly proud of me a lot of the time. I mean, it's very like contrasting in my opinion. There are times when my dad's also like not feeling his best, or he's not the youngest person, so there are times when he forgets certain things. Oh, gas tier, nice. And so for example, when I asked him about something during eating like a meal with him and my mom, and I asked him about something, there's a tendency that he has to like respond subconsciously. So he's like, oh yeah, like you know, the universal thing that all dads do sometimes. It's not a bad thing, obviously. I understand you can't be paying attention like 100% of the time. To me, it's just funny. It's kind of like become a joke in our family. That whenever we're eating, he just doesn't pay attention as well. So I save all the important things for when he's actually listening. Sometimes I also show my mom and dad reels, but very occasionally, because I'm not gonna send them like brain rot reels. Like, although my parents are modern, they're not the type of people that are good enough at English to watch skipping toilet reels. Yeah, I don't send them those, but yeah, but we're good at like sending each other jokes and stuff. Whenever I finish playing the piano in my dad's study room, whenever I come out from that, he's like, wow, that song's really good, what is it like? And even though I know he's not really interested, the fact that he's like sometimes willing to ask that is like, it means a lot, right? That's an incredible feeling. Now, I think I talked about my dad a bit too much, so let me move on to my mom. So the thing is, my dad and my mom have very, in my opinion at least, very, very different personalities. Of course, in some ways they're similar, because, the saying is that when you love someone, you guys tend to turn into each other in some ways. But a lot of the aspects are still very different. So they've been married for like over 20 years, right? But I still notice so many differences among them. For example, I think the biggest difference is in their personality, their outward-facing personality. So my dad's like he's really confident, and but he's really humble as well. So he he always tried to resolve everything by a fair, thorough discussion in a civilized manner. And yeah, it's really nice because I feel like in comparison, now this is not me saying a bad thing about my mom or anything, because I would never do that, especially on a YouTube channel. But whenever we do get in an argument, because you know families do argue, right? It's part of nature. It's part of life. I think my mom is the one that's more confident in her and logical in her stance. She's always she would never back down unless she's been proved wrong. Like, and I think that's an amazing characteristic in the right time. Like, he can be really fierce, and that's one of the great things that I love about her. She's really fierce and willing to not back down unless she knows that she's absolutely wrong, right? Whereas my dad is more likely to think more about the opponent's side as well. So these things can be very different, but I think whenever there's like a disagreement or some kind of heated argument, I think it requires effort from both of our parents to be able to settle it in a proper way. Now, apart from that, there are lots of similarities, right? So my mom and dad both play tennis, like I said before. And I know, my dad is currently better at tennis than she is, because my dad's been playing for like 20 years. My mom recently started learning tennis. Well, not recently, it's been about like 6-7 years. Yeah, but my dad tries to like lower his skill level so that my mom can play at his level, and it's great. And also, the thing about tennis is that, remember how I said in one of my episodes, I can't remember which one, it's been like a week or so, but I talked about the different sports that I play, right? And maybe it's in the hobbies, I forgot. And I mentioned how I used to play tennis for like a year or year and a half before I ended up giving up, right? So tennis is still not the sport for me, but I've learned to love the occasional times I play tennis with my parents for fun, like purely out of fun. So just today, actually, this is actually such a coincidence. I was not planning this at all, but today I ended up playing tennis with my mom only. My dad was busy, and of course I got like destroyed by her because I haven't played tennis in like a year. But I lost 6-3. We only played one set, so I lost 6-3, and I mean, I guess I still got it. Like I do have some skill left, but I'm probably not going to play tennis until I come back to Korea next year. So who knows? Yeah, both my parents are really into tennis. There's times when they actually join the club for tennis people. So there's times when they go out during the weekend, and a few times during the weekday. So they just leave me home alone. It's usually during that time that I record these videos, actually, because I know I'm not going to be disturbed, right? Other times I just tell them, Mom and Dad, I'm going to be recording, so just please don't bother me for an hour. That's why, because I don't want them interrupting me. If they interrupt me, then I have to cut out that part, right? And I don't want these videos to be cut at all. These videos have all been uncut for the past like 14 episodes. I want them all to be uncut. Less editing on me and more chill gameplay for you guys, right? I'm all about the chill gameplay. I don't want like intense 1 million cuts throughout the video to satisfy the dopamine needs of the 6-year-olds. I don't care about that. Also, I'm getting so much quartz. Holy crap, I'm gonna have to go back soon. By the way, I love this music. I think it's called Rubato. I forgot. But it's one of the new... It's not new anymore. It's been 4 years now. Holy crap. It's one of the 1.16 Nether update soundtracks, which still feels new to me. That's crazy. Don't ask why I killed this thing. Hopefully no one saw that. So, if I were to say a bit other things about my mom. So when my mom went to university, she also majored in language. So she actually majored in Russian and Chinese. Now the Chinese part's really interesting, right? Because I mentioned that my family lived in China. So when we lived in China, my mom was the one who would do most of the talking in like pure academic Chinese. Like, she had a very good Mandarin accent. I don't know if she still does though, because I haven't heard her speak Chinese since we moved here. But she's definitely much better than me. She passed the highest level of HSK available at the time. I think that was like 10 or something back then. I think it's decreased by now, but yeah. comparison, I think I'm HSP4 in my current ability. Although I have no intention of taking it. I thought this was quartz. What? I got scammed. So yeah, my mom can speak Russian. I don't know how good a Russian is because she never speaks it at home. But I think she can read it. She said she can read it when she saw it on the news. So that's pretty cool. I wish my mom would speak Russian more. Like, it's really interesting discovering a person's language abilities. Like, it's so funny because some people don't know that I'm learning Japanese. So they don't know that I can actually like read like a third of the signs. Yeah. Still a lot of way to go though. Like, my mom's crazy though. Like, she majored in Mandarin Chinese, which is like the hardest language in existence. Yeah, lots of respect. But I think that's where her like resilience comes from. Remember how I mentioned how she never backs down unless she has to. Like, that resilience comes from, I think, really good studying and also living in China. Because if you live in China, I can say this, I'm not racist because I've experienced it myself. Living in China makes you just tougher of a person. This isn't a joke. China is not for, I think, everyone. And I lived in one of the better parts. I lived in Shanghai, not the city, not the downtown city, but like I lived in Shanghai. I went to a good school, so I had a good experience. Some people are not fortunate enough to have that. But you would know China is not for the weak. And since my mom went to university, like study abroad in China, I think like she went to live in China for like a year or two, not going to university to live there. And so she had to like pick up Chinese over living with real Chinese people, right? So that's like an incredible skill that took a lot of effort. I'm gonna enchant some other tools now. I also got some glowstone up in here and a gas too. That's great. I think another wait. I kinda wanna get a actually good bow. Holy crap, that's amazing. I took a risk and it paid off. Nice, I can get Depth Strider on that. I kind of want like pure prot on this thing now. Because fire protection is good, I like it, but this is kind of useless. So you gotta be kidding me. But either way, hopefully I'll get protection. Yes, let's go. Okay, that's what I'm going for next. Right now I'm gonna have to deal with that unenchanted. And I kind of want to change my sword as well. Upgrade it. Anyways, let me continue. So what else can I talk about Mom? Okay. She also has a passion for learning. So I think this is one of her strengths against my dad. So my mom loves to learn about new things. My dad is more oriented in learning how to be more productive and like doing his work really well. But since my mom doesn't currently have a job, like she's not employed right now because I think the thing she does most is play tennis. She's really crazy about tennis. I think she plays as much tennis as I study Japanese. Anyway, since my dad just works for our family, he's more job oriented, but my mom is always focusing on learning new things, right? So learning tennis, that's something she's like basically done every single day by playing with her clubmates, getting that daily exercise in, you know, very, very good, right? Staying fit and all that stuff. But she's also passionate about learning, I think, she's passionate about learning music. So for example, we have a ukulele in my house. Now, this thing we bought in China, and we basically, oh my god, and we basically never like, okay, that was so unexpected. We basically never used it. So like we bought a book and everything. We have a ukulele now, which is like, I guess, a 4-string guitar, sort of. I don't really know how the string instruments there work. Yeah. I think my mom was the person who was most interested in ukulele, so she's learned a lot of chords and stuff. And I didn't really put as much attention into learning the ukulele because I just wasn't that interested in it. I was more interested in developing my piano skills, you know. Speaking of piano, there were actually, before I move on to that, the thing about the ukulele is it's still in my house, right? It's in my dad's study room, so very occasionally, like by that I mean like once in every month or so, I would hear my mom take out the ukulele and start playing it. Oh come on, how did that not hit? Yeah, take out the ukulele and start strumming it. Like, I don't know how, but like he was always so eager to learn this new instrument, right? And I just think that if you're a beginner, it's really hard to be motivated to learn a new instrument because as a beginner, to be honest, your music is gonna sound horrible, right? When I first played piano, it sounded like crap. My violin still sounds like crap because the violin itself is really amazing, but it costs a lot of money, but I was just so bad at my skill level, even though I've been playing the violin for almost like 7 years. Maybe I sounded decent when I actually played it, but now I quit the violin, right? I haven't played violin since the beginning of 2023, like around before the second semester of the P1 started. After that, I changed to the piano position for the orchestra, and I didn't have to play violin since. And I just love being the piano position so much better in an orchestra, you know? Yeah, my mom would, like, yeah, the point is, if you first start playing an instrument, it'll basically always sound horrible. But my mom, like, is determined to get through that, I guess. And I know that if she puts her mind to it, she can definitely like do really well on the ukulele. But the thing is, recently she's been showing a lot of interest in other instruments as well. That's why I say she's like motivated by music as well. Like when she first started to learn the ukulele, I didn't think anything of it, right? Yes. But it turns out that her love for music was like, it's not a random thing, right? Of course, it's not always the most consistent. Like, she doesn't play the ukulele every single day. Oh yeah, they don't take fall damage. But anyway, she developed an interest for the piano as well. So what I know about her is that both my mom and dad used to play the piano when they were young. They used to have some skill in playing the piano, especially my dad. Like, my dad went until Tyranny 30. And speaking of piano, I don't think I've really talked about this before in an earlier episode about piano. Maybe I should dedicate a whole episode to piano, but that would just take way too much time. I have so much to talk about, you know. But my dad got to Tyranny 30, and for reference, the order that I learned goes from Payers, which is the basics. These are all composers' names, by the way. And then it goes to Tyranny 100. Sometimes you got I forgot the name of the guy, but there's a book with 25 songs in it, so it's called B something. Like, the guy's name starts with B something 25, and then you go to Tyranny 100, and then Tyranny 30, and then Tyranny 40, Tyranny 50. You don't really end anywhere because piano has an incredibly high skill cap. I don't think it even has one. But I finished Tyranny 50 back in China, and I think that's where I peaked in my classical music abilities and music theory abilities. Right now I just play piano for fun, right? I just play the random songs that I find. If Marashi releases a new song, then I play it because it's my piano inspiration right now. But I'm not really serious about taking piano as a career, right? As of right now. Maybe I'll play for the band, but something like that. And my parents, however, didn't get to that level. They got to turning 30 around there, and then they stopped playing because either academics got in the way, because Korean students are notoriously known for being busy, or they just didn't find the instrument fun anymore. Now, my mom would definitely still be interested in piano though. She would be like, someday I want to like be good at this instrument. And that goes for a lot of different instruments, by the way. Like, he was interested in a lot. So I think the person who was more interested in piano learning is currently my dad. Like, he asked me to teach him how to play a certain song. That's his favorite song ever. I don't want to reveal it just in case it's against his privacy, but he's known this song for like since he was in middle school, right? So it's a really old song, but I have to admit the piano is really beautiful on that one. And he said he wanted to learn it, so yeah. My dad definitely has more interest in the piano. My mom did have a certain extent, to a certain extent, an interest, but I think she was more focused on learning the ukulele. But she still is able to play the piano to a certain extent, like maybe like pioneer level. Because I remember when I was in elementary school, we would like play some songs together, like at least attempt to. That was when both of us were really bad at piano. Now, the last instrument my mom also really was interested in is the violin itself. So the violin I have at home, I got it when I was in like 9th grade, and I've been using it ever since. But you know how violins like basically last forever, right? There's violins out there that are 150 years old. Now, since I'm leaving to Canada, I'm gonna leave my violin here. But my mom asked me before I leave to Canada if she could help me, if I could teach her how to play the violin, right? Now, at first I was really reluctant because that would take forever, because I'm not a certified teacher and I'm not good at the violin myself. I still sound like inane garbage, but since it's for free and it's for out of the love of my family, so I decided to do it. And honestly, I don't know how I feel. Like, I did one lesson because it was like for a fun thing. I could tell she was trying really hard, but of course, as for anyone playing a new instrument, it sounded like, you know, it ain't garbage, just like me when I first played the piano. So, did I rate this thing before? I don't know. I don't care. Oh frick, I don't have a lodestone, don't I? Maybe I should loot this thing. Yeah, I've definitely not looted it. Yeah, I'll loot this thing and then head home. So yeah, my mom's been very eager to always learn about new instruments. Hopefully they didn't hear that. Yeah, you guys didn't hear anything. How do I get down here? This bastion, though. It should be good. That was pretty close. Where did I hear that piglin from? Where are they? Oh, they're right there. Okay. What if they just like drop from the sky? That'd be like terrifying. Okay, well I know that since now I'm in a bastion, I'm gonna be talking a bit less. So I think that's enough of me talking about my mom. That's a brute. Come over here. Do you not see me, you idiot? This guy's like blind or something. Gotta be careful. Lowstone is here, right? There you go. Okay, that is pretty sick. That's a great upgrade. These I'm never gonna put on. And there's the chest here, right? There's gotta be a chest, yes. Wow. Oh wait, it's the one I already got, okay. Where's the other side then? guys are so stupid. How did you... Anyway, I can now I guess I'll spend the last like 10 minutes or so talking about my extended family. So, thing is, I have all my parents, like it depends on both of my parents' size. But I have a paternal, on my dad's side I have a grandfather, and I think out of all my extended family relatives, he's my favorite person because he's like, in my opinion, he's just really amazing. Like, first of all, like he's basically like 80 years old, and he watches reels. Not reels, like he watches, like I see him watch TikTok and YouTube shorts, and that's just amazing for me. Like that just already shows how modern he is. Truly an inspiration. And yeah, while hiding here until they forget about me, I'll just talk about my grandfather. So he lives in another province of South Korea, and the great thing is he lives with my aunt, because remember how I said my mom and my dad has like 3 older sisters, right? So I one of them, the youngest one, actually, that was a really bad idea. Why can't I place a block? I want to place whatever. So they live together in the same house, and that youngest aunt has a son, and that's my cousin, right? So one thing I thought you're a brute. You're a brute. You're dead. Out of here. Yeah, they live together, so it's always really nice. Because there's not a lot of times, but when we do when my family does end up traveling to this other place to, you know, like meet our extended family, near the paternal side, then we go to this province, right? And it's always so amazing every single time. And yeah, that was close. That looks so natural. It almost blended into this one right over here. Besides like watching TikTok, I think one of the really cool things my grandfather's into is watching baseball. Although he doesn't play himself, right? But one of the things he does like doing is playing pool. In South Korea it's called 당구, and he's really good at it. I think he really loves to watch YouTube videos on it from this one YouTuber, because whenever I go home, whenever he comes to Seoul to visit our apartment, right? Because there's times he comes to visit us like a couple times a year for various purposes, and he usually takes over my room when and I go sleep in my dad's study room whenever he comes over, right? Because he needs the comfortable bed. I don't. But sometimes I let him use my PC so he can watch YouTube, right? And he always chooses to watch the videos of playing pool and strategies from that. So I think that's really cool. Now, where did I come from? I came from here. Yep. So yeah, my grandfather has a lot of hobbies that they're definitely not the same hobbies as me. Like I prefer playing piano, solving math problems, playing games like Minecraft, playing on YouTube. Those are my hobbies, right? But my grandfather has very different hobbies from me, but still he's very devoted to them, and I really respect that a lot. I came from like upward, right? Yeah, up there. Anyway, let me go back up there. Yeah, but overall my grandfather is a really nice, caring person. He's really active, so it's not like he goes to the gym, but he can move really well, and compared to the rest of his age demographic, like compared to the average of people that are his age, like he's really well fit and modern, knows how to use a phone actually. Like if you're if your grandfather is able to watch reels, right? Okay, I keep saying reels, it's TikTok and YouTube Shorts, they're different. But it just, you know, it's just so much better because it means they're technologically more advanced. I think that's worthy of, you know, talking about. Now I can also talk about my 3 aunts because I have 3 aunts, right? So they're each really nice to me because, you know, to them I'm their nephew, so 3 of them consider me my nephew, right? So their nephew, so it's really interesting feeling, I guess. But I think, and since they all have their own sons, 2 of them are older than me, so they already did the mandatory military service and are, like, they already did university and they're, you know, seeking jobs and stuff. One of my older cousins is actually a female, so she actually got married this month, not this month, but like this year. So that was something I attended. Oh yeah, I forgot. That was a jump scare. So yes, so 3 of my cousins, I guess, are older than me by a lot, and one of my cousins are younger than me by a lot. So yeah, one of my cousins is in the 6th grade, and since they attended Korean education system, that's like the last year of elementary school, whereas here that's considered the first year of middle school, right? So it's a bit different. But either way, I met him for the last time, just in July, because I mentioned that I think I mentioned already on the YouTube channel that I went to this other province to visit my cousin, like to visit my grandparents, but also to visit my cousin there. So I saw him one last time, because remember, I'm going to Canada, right? I'm not going to be able to see him for like another year before I visit again. And then that's why I went. And yeah, like the last time I went was in 2022, before this time. So I could tell he's grown up a lot since then. Like when I went in 2022, he was obsessed with Pokemon. He had Lego sets everywhere, and his room was a bit more messy. But now it's organized. I can tell he studies a lot more. Where's my iron? Oh, here. So yeah, definitely underwent a huge change. I'm very proud of him. I know he's gonna do really well. He's also going to the gym now, being physically active, and that's way better than me because I was not physically active when I was his age. But it's crazy, like, just seeing this, like, it's like crazy that, you know, your family is, like, even your extended family is gonna watch you graduate, because that's exactly how I felt when I watched my older cousins graduate. Like, I didn't watch them, but I've heard that they graduated. I've heard that they went to military, and even though they're out of military now, it seems so weird that time is passing so quickly, right? That's the magic of time. And one day it's gonna be my younger cousin, the guy in 6th grade that graduates from high school, and then I'll be so much older by then. I don't even know if my YouTube channel will be active anymore at that time, but we'll see. If he does graduate, I'll make a video on it. I'll write that down. So, but who knows where I'll be in 10 years, if I'll even be in the situation to do that. I'm gonna enchant some more things. Okay, that's kind of bad, but whatever. It's prod. Now I would also love to talk about my extended family on my mother's side. So for example, he is... I'm never gonna get flipped now, that's great. But yes, but just to briefly summarize, maternal grandmother and grandfather, and actually I wanted to talk more about the, where is this? What the heck? I want like fire aspect or something. I don't want knockback. The funny thing is I haven't seen my maternal side cousins in a long time, because I just never went to that province to visit them. It's been a really long time, so, but I want to soon. Like, I think the last time I saw, because I know there's one girl and one boy, and I really miss seeing them. Like, it's been so long since 2022 or 2021 was it when I first saw them. I think they forgot what I looked like at this point. It's been so long. Yeah, that's just life, you know. We'll see next year if I can see them again. I'll leave this in here. Yeah, we'll see how life goes. I'll also leave the tribe in here. I ain't touching that. That can say 9 durability. But as far as my extended family goes, I think that's pretty much it. My dad obviously has the much bigger extended family because he has, you know, 3 older sisters. And that's great because they're all really nice to me. Like, they adore me. They know how much I've grown over the years, and it's really nice seeing them all be so supportive like that. Obviously, I mean, I think I'm allowed to soon, but I'm not going to drink just yet. Like, I'm allowed to have, you know, alcohol and stuff when I'm the age of 18 in South Korea and 19 in Canada, I think. But I just don't feel like drinking. Like, I think I'm against all drinking and smoking. I'm not saying it's bad for you, like, inherently, but it's just not right for me. I'm just never interested in the aspect of it. But since South Korea is a country that adores drinking, we have like the highest, like one of the highest drinking rates and smoking rates, and another rate in something I can't say because of YouTube. But the drinking part is interesting because actually that can be a positive thing for South Korea, because since it's so engraved into our culture, it's like, let's just have a drink of soju or something, and then you can invite your entire extended family around, and soon enough you're sitting at a table with like 12 of your extended family and like 3 of your cousins, and you're all like drinking soju together, just talking about, and then eventually get to the point where you're like 3 hours in, same restaurant, same seats, but you're all so drunk that you can't even hear each other, so you just start talking about random things. Like, that kind of vibe is honestly pretty cool, even though I'm not gonna experience it for myself until I feel ready to, which I don't feel like I will. Then it's pretty fun to observe, and I can join in on the conversation anytime I want. Yeah, fitting in there is fun. The more people, you know, the merrier it is. The more the merrier when you're, you know, sitting with your extended family and you're talking about life. Especially because this time when I met them, it was like my last time before I went to Canada, right? So we took extra care to like gather as many people as we could. Obviously, since we have everyone, those sisters all have their own personal lives, right? So we can't just invite everyone on a certain day, and I also had like a hangout arranged to stay with my friends at a like a sleepover after that. But we did manage to try our best, and it went pretty well in my opinion. So yeah, overall, pretty good. So I think that's enough of yapping about my family. I think I've discussed a lot, and I've also gotten a lot of things done. I didn't get to decorate the second floor, but I did upgrade a lot of my tools. I got full good armor, and after I upgrade my sword, I'll be ready to fight the dragon. I also went to the Master Remnant, so I got myself a lodestone. This is not planned, by the way, I just found it earlier. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll probably record 2 videos tomorrow, but only upload 1, and then I'll be uploading 1 day ahead of time from now on. So that'll be like how I schedule these uploads, so that I can upload on the actual day of my flight as well. But thank you so much for watching. Take care and have a great day or night. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.